I can't do it. Okay. We'll do it live.
Okay.
Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Good morning.
It's time to wake up.
This is Snowman in the Morning on the Arena Sports Network.
Did you not get the memo?
Let's get busy!
The heck with complaining. Good morning! As the great Vin Scully said once during a baseball broadcast, we're coming to you kind of on horseback. We're about 8 minutes behind. Had a technical difficulty in the studio, but we got it solved, and we are on, and we thank you for being patient with us first and foremost. Tell you everything that's going on here in just a moment. I got to get this man on so he can get going. Rusty's Morning Wrap is ready, and so is Rusty. Good morning.
Good morning, Brian. How you doing this morning?
I'm here. The show is on, so I'm happy.
Well, that's good. Let's get going. Morning, Brian, everybody. Welcome to Wednesday. No, it's not Wednesday. It's Thursday. It's like different days right there. I'm getting lost one way or the other. But Rusty's Morning Wrap-Up presented by GCF Bank. Ah, my goodness gracious. Get the days right. That's all you got to do here, right?
I know.
Oh, boy. It's the official bank of the Arena Sports Network. Well, Blackhawks couldn't make it 3 in a row, could they? Something they haven't done since December. And it happened last night. They lost 3-2 to the Colorado Avalanche in Colorado. Unfortunately, well, we'll see what they can do. Jonathan Hayes, Patrick Cavey, his goal. Can they make things up? Maybe. I expect they will. Because Joe Quinn will make sure that the team will get back on the ice tomorrow evening against the Predators when they come to town.
Cool.
Both suffered a rough home loss to San Antonio Spurs the other night. Can they turn things around quickly at the United Center? They got a matchup with Dwight Howard and the Houston Rockets. That'll come up this evening at the United Center. College basketball, it's championship week.
Yes, it is.
Well, a couple more teams found their way into the NCAA tournament. American, what's their nickname? The Patriot League in North Dakota State. Well, the Summit have earned spots in the NCAA tournament. The question is, can some other teams make it? That's the big question, and I wonder, how about the Fall? Can they make a run?
Well, after beating...
They beat Georgetown yesterday.
Yeah, they did.
50-56 in the Big East. We'll see what happens with them if they keep going. Notre Dame lost to Wake Forest in the ACC, and NIU season done as they lost to Eastern Michigan 53-48. Games coming up today. DePaul will take on Creighton in the Big East. Chicago State. That might be our best chance.
Yeah.
Make the NCAA tournament. Could I say that? We'll take on Cal State, Santa Barbara, in Las Vegas. Big play basketball. And Big Ten tournament gets going this morning as Indiana will take on Illinois, and then later on tonight, Northwestern will have their shot, and they'll be taking on Iowa at 7:30. By the way, that Big Ten tournament is going to be one exciting tournament.
It sure is.
Going to walk away with it.
It
Here's
sure
agreed
is.
to a one-year deal to former Packers safety M.D. Jennings. Quarterback Jackson McCown has left town. He's going to Tampa to join Lovie Smith. A 2-year deal worth $10 million, and he's going to be the starting quarterback.
Uh-oh.
For Lovie Smith. You gotta remember, he worked under Mark Trestman.
Yeah.
Now Lovie Smith is. So we'll see how that works out. Cactus League Baseball, White Sox, well, they did a good job, but they were able to win yesterday, 4-3 over the Giants. Cubs, though, you stayed up late last night, Cubs on Major League Baseball coverage like I did. Did they fall apart against the Mariners? Up 7-2, gave up 5 runs in the ninth and 1 in the 10th to lose 8-7.
Ouch.
It's going to be a long season.
Yeah, it is.
White Sox will be taking on the Angels today. Cubs get a day off if they need it. I don't know how many times you get a day off in spring training. Golf, the Bellsmart Championship, Palm Harbor, Florida. Opening rounds begin coming up today. And lastly, Brian, Cubs prospects Elvin Amora, Chris Bryant, and Jorge Soler all were among the players, 9 of them, that were sent down to the minors. While top prospect Javier Baez will stay with the club for now. I don't know about these fools. Well, let the kids play. You might do something better.
Yeah.
Rusty Silver for the Arena Sports Network. And don't forget TCF Bank. Check out TCF Bank for more information.
Thank you, Rusty. Appreciate it. Get going. We're going to get going here.
All right. Have a great day.
Oh, my gracious. What a morning. But we got through that. Rusty's Morning Wrap presented by TCF Bank. It's the official bank. I nearly got my words mixed up. The official bank of the Arena Sports Network. Don't forget to visit tcfbank.com for more information. My super producer, Josh Lopez, is in the house, in the chat room. If you are logged on through Spreaker, you can check us out in the chat room. I got Jeff Escal coming on in just a little bit. Oh, goodness. Well, this is one of those kind of mornings where it's a throwaway morning, but we're getting stuff done here. More free agents. Revis Island has landed in New England. I'm going to have Jeff Escal on in just a moment to talk about this and some college basketball to take us through the bulk of the show. Of course, we got trivia time at the top of the second hour. The message will close it. And speaking of which, I get to close a sponsor deal. And I can do that, hopefully, this morning. And if it closes, you'll hear on the ASN Digest a little later who we landed. But it's, I will say it's pretty significant. It's going to help us out with our coverage of Marquette Catholic. Now, speaking of basketball, UIC women's hoops with a chance to extend their season against Cleveland State. They did so. 77-72 the final. Rachel Story had 24 points in the game last night. It was at the UIC Pavilion, and she banked in, you ready for this, Josh? She banked in a 75-foot shot as the first half went dead. As the clock ran down and out, she banked in. It gave them a 5-point lead at the half. The officials came over, and this is nothing against the folks at UIC. It was just we had a glitch at the table with the replay monitor. The officials came over to take a look at the shot to determine if it counted or not, and they couldn't get the monitor started for a couple moments. But they did get it. They did get it started. Cleveland State got zapped big time, Josh. They got to the monitor. They looked at the monitor. Everything was cool. They counted the basket. Now, speaking of Cleveland State getting zapped, and speaking of UIC's defense coming up big, Cleveland State had 4 shots at the lead. 4 shots at the lead. And all 4 shots came up empty. You talk about being scared. I mean, and they had it wasn't that they were not getting good looks at the basket. No, they were getting some great looks. They just wouldn't fall. They just wouldn't fall. And that's the point. You never know what's going to happen inside a conference tournament game. And also, UIC is hosting a tournament selection party scheduled for Monday at 5:30. And yours truly will be there. We'll get some interviews. We'll talk to some of the members of the team, talk to the coaches, and we'll find out where they are going for their postseason plans. And some postseason plans are being made. I was talking with a young lady last night, and she looked at me and she said, "Do we even have a chance against Green Bay?" I don't know what my confidence is in this team, but it's sky high right now because I looked at her and said, yes, we have a chance. I think we can pull the upset. The team we're talking about is Green Bay, the defending 6-time Horizon League champions. And we got to do it in their house. But again, inside a conference tournament, anything is possible. Anything is possible. And I'm being told to go to a break. So let me go to a break. When we come back, Jeff Escal will ride shotgun with me for the remainder of the first half of the show. And we got some trivia coming at the top of the second hour. But Jeff Escal joins me right after these as we have Snowman in the Morning on the Arena Sports Network back in a deuce.
Hey, you guys. Could I ask you a couple questions?
Okay.
Saving money, what's it like for you?
Well, I'm an artist, so it happens sporadically.
But it does happen?
It does happen, and when it happens, it feels really, really good.
With easier savings at TCF Bank, what would you save for?
Oh, clothes and shoes.
Housing repairs.
To buy a new car. I'm saving for grad school.
And then I'm hoping to just save up, just to have savings, period.
What would make it easier to save money?
Having like a sugar mama.
Which isn't a bad plan, but if you needed a little banking plan or something, what would make it easier?
Something with
An automatic transfer?
Something with an automatic transfer, probably.
So you wouldn't even notice the money?
Automatically transferred.
Automagical.
Automagical, oh my gosh.
How much could you save if saving were actually easy? Open an account at the home of free checking today and find out. For locations and more information, call 1-855-OPEN-TCF or go to tcfbank.com. TCF Bank. Surprisingly simple. Member FDIC.
At Strachan Van Til, we think differently about groceries. We always have. So what does that mean? It means better, fresher, focused on you. Your neighborhood store that gives you more. It's quality, selection, the variety you want. Choice meats, deli, bakery, your one-stop shop. Everything on your list and all for less. With the savings you deserve and unbeatable service, that's different. That's built around you, and that's your Strachan Van Til.
What is the IHSA?
For more than 100 years, the Illinois High School Association and member schools have provided opportunities for students to participate in interscholastic athletics and activities, which produce vital education benefits.
Did you know the IHSA offers statewide championship series in 14 sports for boys and girls and sponsors statewide championships in 7 non-athletic activities? Did you know the IHSA licenses more than 10,000 contest officials in 13 different sports and that more than 300,000 students participate in IHSA sports and activities every year? Did you know activity programs only account for 1 to 3% of the overall education budget in a school? Did you know the nation's first sportsmanship mascot was created by the IHSA in 1997 with the birth of Attitude? Did you know students who participate in activity programs tend to have higher grades, better attendance, lower dropout rates, and fewer discipline problems than students that don't participate? Did you know activity programs provide valuable lessons for practical life situations? Teamwork, self-discipline, time management, dealing with adversity, and communication skills?
Now that you know, get in the game. Be a fan and join the fun. Support your local high school programs.
This message has been brought to you by the IHSA. Challenge yourself.
It began as a promise. Son, we're going on a road trip. That promise has lasted over 30 years. Our dream is to visit every national park in America. It's been thousands of miles, countless bumps along the way, but we'll just keep moving on, pursuing this amazing dream.
Visit DrassichAgency.com or call 219-945-3040 and ask Joel Drassich how you can get all of your insurance under one roof.
Hey, Josh, you up? Well, wake up anyway. Snowman. Oops. Wrong button. Snowman in the Morning. Back here with you, 21 beyond the hour, and we apologize for being a little late this morning, waiting for Jeff Escow to come online and join us. You know, it's very interesting. It's very interesting when people realize you're a threat to what they're doing, so they try to find all kinds of ways to get to you, and they realize it's not working. Well, I won't say any names, and I won't say the content, but got a tweet on our Twitter page, @SnowMorningShow, you know, saying, why don't you just give this dream up? Sorry, not going to do it, and especially not for you. If that's the best you can do, if that's the best you can come up with, then you haven't done much. You haven't done much, and it just gets tiring after a while. It just gets tiring, so I'm done dealing with that person, and we continue on. Again, I'm waiting for Jeff Escow to come on and ride shotgun with me. for the bulk part of the first half of the show. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to have me a little fun. Ronald Murchison is in the house with us. Is there any, like the ones where they say every play is a foul? Are there any crazy mothers at those games like the ones at Exelon where they say every play is a foul? No, but there's a crazy coach there that I dealt with last night, Josh. Did I bring a note explaining my tardiness? No, but I brought a microphone. I brought a microphone explaining what the heck happened. You know, if you have a Windows computer, you know that periodically you have to install and run these updates. Well, mine just decided to run on its own this morning. And it decided to run a couple minutes before we were scheduled to go on air. So I let it run its course. It ran its course, and now we are here. And I want to thank everybody for being patient with us. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to bring a friend in that's going to help out matters, and I really hope he does. Snowman of the Morning, presented by Fusion Ions Bands. Fusion Ions, live your best. And also presented by Slugmaster, baseball and softball hitting and training aids. Slugmaster, turning batters into hitters. Oh, there we got him. Morning, Josh. Josh, your microphone's open.
Sorry about that. I had to pause the Spreaker thing.
Oh, Lordy. How you doing this morning, partner?
Doing all right.
Good. Well, I'm going to have you ride shotgun until Jeff gets here. Let's go through some free agents. Josh McCown to Tampa Bay. Your thoughts?
It's not going to work. I mean, come on now. I felt that he should stay with the Bears. I mean, it's the best system that he plays under with. And if you really want to run the risk of him coming to teams because of the season he had last year, in my opinion, if he kept playing on, I'm not sure if he would be as consistent. Everybody was making him out to be. But I guess Tampa Bay was so confident to bring him in, so we'll see what happens.
And not only bring him in, but make him a starter. You know, Lovie Smith declared him a starter already. You mentioned that McCown to Tampa is not going to work, even based off the success he had last year. Why don't you think it's going to work?
It's because, Lovie's offense is more about and not primarily at the offensive kind. He focused more on the defense, and we know Lovie's track record with the offense, especially with the Bears. So I just don't think Tampa Bay is the right fit for Josh McCown. I think the best position he was to be back here in Chicago.
Okay. And getting that out the way, Darrelle Revis to the Patriots. Your thoughts?
I wish he could have went to a different team. I mean, my feelings about the dump.
Why do you hate the? And I'm asking this to get a cheap laugh out of you, and you know where I'm going. Why do you hate the Patriots so much?
They're the most over-talked, overhyped, overrated, most annoying team that I have to watch each and every year. I'm done with it.
I could describe it.
It's been going on for almost 13 years now.
Yeah, there's only one problem with that. They've been good over the course of those 13 years.
Well, when you play in the AFC East, I mean, it's not that hard.
That's what you think. Wait a minute. Then there are the Jets, but we'll go into that later. Speaking of and the Bills, and remember, once upon a time, the AFC East is one of the toughest divisions to play in. But at the same time, with the Patriots being run down our throat all the time, especially with CBS, God help us, you know what would be scary? You know what would be scary? I don't know what the Thursday night schedule is going to be, but CBS picked up the Thursday night schedule. I'm almost afraid to see it.
Is it up?
And you know why? Because we're going to see a never-ending supply of Patriots.
Yeah. You think we get enough of it on Sundays?
We do. I do. I know you do. I get enough of seeing Gillette Stadium, man. I get enough of seeing the Patriots.
I'm tired of looking at that, though.
But then there are some people. What do you call Cleveland then?
The other end of my farts.
Say it again.
The other end of my farts.
You're not right. You're not right. Josh Lopez, my super producer, riding shotgun with me. Man, listen. With all the free agents moving around, which one or two or three surprised you the most?
That was interesting. I mean, there's a lot of action that was going on this last couple of days. I mean, more than recent history of the NFL free agency. So I thought that was pretty cool for the sport and all. I'd say just not surprised with the people and where they went, but more of the money they were given to.
Yeah.
For example, Darius Bird, who went to New Orleans and got a $57 million contract with $26 million guaranteed, and then you got a key and DeMarcus Ware going to Denver. I wonder how that's going to work out.
I think that's going to work out great. But here's a deal that surprised me that came in late last night. Golden Tate is on his way to Detroit.
They won't make the playoffs still.
They won't make the even with Golden Tate opposite Calvin Johnson.
It's Matthew Stafford. Come on now.
You're just not giving them
waiting to happen.
No, an accident waiting to happen will be in Green Bay. No, anyway.
Oh, Tony Romo.
That's not an accident. That's just plain fault.
Default.
That's just plain fault. All right. Merch has a comment in the chat as he joined in the chat room with us. He says he feels the same way about the Pats, the same way people were tired of hearing about the Bulls during the Jordan era. And I'm trying to be diplomatic about this, which I rarely am in this case, but this case I am. It's just there's just one little problem with us getting tired of seeing the Patriots over the past 13 years, and I just reiterate two words. They're good. I don't know how good they're going to be this year, considering the fact, well, I don't know how good Denver's going to be. They lost one of their weapons, their offensive weapons, in Eric Decker.
Yep.
But then they gained a defensive weapon in DeMarcus Ware. Man, that's crazy.
An aging weapon.
But a weapon nonetheless.
I know they had to add a couple of pieces to their defense, especially for that shellacking they got in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's true.
See, this is the thing for me. You know, everybody's excited for whatever particular name goes to the team. But do you actually know if that player's the best guy for that scheme playing? Like, that's the thing I look towards to from playing football in high school and that kind of stuff. Like, you know, I love a 5-2 defense, and it's kind of funny because our coverage play when I was in high school is called 5-2 Holy You Know What. And so
they actually named it that?
Yes. So that's the system that fit well for me. And, you know, of course, Pete Lee in and out of games, can you really trust him being there when it really counts?
Mm-hmm.
And then you got DeMarcus Ware, who's also injury prone. So I hope it works out for Denver, but at the end of the day, if it doesn't, you're wasting $80 million that you can't have back.
What about some of the moves that the Bears made?
See, the thing with the Bears, though, they're the positions that they need to get. It doesn't matter what names are in there. We just need depth.
And you still have...
The more, the better. The guys that can cover, the guys that can tackle. I mean, you don't have to have the guys that are the top 5 in the league as safeties or linebackers. I don't care. I just want somebody that can somebody. You know, you got a slot receiver that could take out one of our middle linebackers. I mean, come on now.
Here's a question for you. Speaking of the Bears, give me your thoughts on them releasing Julius Peppers. Were you surprised?
No, I kind of felt bad for how everything worked out with Julius. I guess it wasn't the right scheme. And, you know, defensive end is a weird position, you know. Sometimes it works better for you if you're on the right side. Sometimes it helps you out for the left side. I mean, the defensive end and linebacker combination always works in different cycles because the main thing with defensive ends, you got to contain the outside of the field to contain the running backs from the outside going through the field. And I guess it's just Peppers just didn't have the more consistent years here in Chicago than he had with Carolina. But I think he was a good acquisition. I think over time you look, Pepper was a good member of the Bears. I mean, he did go to a Pro Bowl once. I mean, he wasn't a total scrub, but I felt Julius Pepper could have done a little bit better here, but just happy that he decided to come here.
Lamar Houston over to the Bears from Oakland. Good move or bad move?
Good move. Lamar Houston's a really good player. You know, him playing against in a division where a lot of teams have good offensive lines, especially San Diego or Kansas City and Denver. You know, Brian, it's just a matter of the 101, the 101s in football. Well, where you position that, what kind of competition you're playing against. People don't pay attention to when it comes to football. It's like, oh, here's the guy's names, here's the guy's stats, and then it's automatically assumed he's going to be on the team. It doesn't work like that. And it comes to the pudding when you see these teams struggling and then everybody blames the organization for bringing these guys in there and they're right for it. And that's my thoughts on it. I mean, I like Lamar Houston. He could tackle. He's versatile. He could pass for a guy his size, and at the same time, he could tackle.
Here's a very interesting move, and Rusty Silver pointed it out this morning. Former Packer safety M.D. Jennings is now going to put on a Bears uniform. We know M.D. Jennings is a good cover player, but let me get Josh Lopez's take, and I'm going to title this segment some kind of way. Your take on M.D. Jennings coming to the Windy City?
Anything better than Chris Conte. I mean, I've seen M.D. Jennings playing in college. He's a pretty good player. Just a bad year, you know, it happens. It happens to any player in the league. I mean, he's young, but I mean, like I said, we needed more depth at safety. So I mean, the caliber of players we had at the safety position just wasn't cutting it for the Bears. But I mean, I mentioned this a lot on my show. I mean, if you want to neutralize the Packers in any way, take away from them, take away their players.
Okay. Now, with all that being said, where do you find some good linebackers that can hit some people? Like you said, and have said over and over again, and it's so true, where do you find folks, or who's available, that can make some tackles?
I mean, just got to look around a bit. I mean, you got to see like Aaron Henderson. I know the Bears re-signed DJ Williams. He's a good player. I just things didn't work out last year with the whole ACL injury, which was the priority injury that we all suffered last year. But DJ Williams is still there. I mean, we do got a couple good young guys. I mean, Jonathan Bostic is playing better. I know the Bears were interested in bringing back James Anderson, who's the leading tackler. I mean, you've still got Lance Briggs there. He hasn't gone anywhere. I mean, probably a couple more years until he goes. But besides that, there's a lot of good guys that are out there. Like I said, Aaron Henderson. That's not just the only position that Bears need to address. I mean, we might lose Henry Melton. We need to look at the defensive tackle position, and then whatever happens to Charles Tillman. I mean, there's a lot of good cornerbacks out there now. We got Tracy Porter's out there, Corey Graham's, a lot of guys to check out.
Talking all things free agents with Josh Lopez, my super producer, riding shotgun with me for this first part of the show. Jeff Escal will join me next. And okay, you talked about getting some people that can make some tackles. How about some people that, okay, what move or moves in the midst of all this free agency surprised you the most?
Just surprised the most is man. I think I can do like a top 5. I think.
All right.
There's a lot of moves that's been going on. A lot.
All right. So what's your top 5?
I mean, well, it's not kind of a surprise, but back to Seattle. I mean, I think Michael Bennett would have been a good addition with the Bears, even though Seattle just gave him a little bit more for his yearly salary. I mean, it wasn't that much, but he went back there. Got to look at a guy like Eric Decker going to the New York Jets. I mean, I don't know if it's a good career choice for him, but he's gained the money that he deserves. He had a season last year, so I put Eric Decker there as well. I'll say Keith Lee getting that much money. That's the thing that caught me by surprise. Don't get me wrong, I feel he's a good player, but at the same time, he's not the megastar people make him out.
He's not an elite player. And he hasn't, with his playoff performances, he hasn't been an elite player, and I don't think he'll ever be again. Let me pause for a break. Josh Lopez with me talking all things free agency. Let me pause for a break. Jeff Escal will join me next. Thank you, Josh, for riding shotgun with me, my friend. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Jeff Escal will join me next in a couple. You're listening to Snowman in the Morning, and you're hearing it live on the Arena Sports Network.
Can I ask you a couple questions?
Okay.
So what do you do on Sundays?
I usually try to make it to the gym and play video games.
Go to the zoo, and then you have lunch and nap, and there's some diapers.
Between ballet classes and...
I can totally imagine you doing ballet.
Yeah, well, not me, but taking my 2 girls to ballet.
Did you know TCF Bank is open Sundays? How would that make life easier?
That would mean a lot.
I do like to have the bank open on Sunday, and that's one of the reasons I use TCF.
I completely agree. It's a bummer when you realize at the end of the week that you have something to take care of and the bank's not open.
Yeah. But TCF Bank is open on Sundays.
I can't believe it.
It's amazing.
That is amazing.
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
So you might go and talk to a person on Sunday?
Yeah, I like talking to persons.
You know what? I can tell that about you. TCF Bank is open 7 days, including Sundays. Surprised? Come into the home of free checking and open an account today. For locations and more information, call 1-855-OPEN-TCF or go to tcfbank.com. TCF Bank. Surprisingly convenient. Member FDIC.
Hey everyone, Ed Farmer here. As a closing pitcher for the Sox in 1980, I racked up 30 saves, the Sox record at the time. But thanks to a life-saving kidney transplant in 1991 from my brother Tom, someone else helped save me. Just like my organ donor, you too can give someone a second chance at life. In fact, as a registered organ donor, you can help save the lives of more than 25 people. Be a team player. Register to be an organ and tissue donor at DonateLifeIllinois.org.
Register today to be an organ and tissue donor at DonateLifeIllinois.org.
Want to get your rankings in the truest form? Want to get the best college news without all the fluff? Then tune in to Swamp's Collegiate Sports Show. Join Kevin the Swamp Rat Horan as he ranks all the collegiate sports, from football to basketball and baseball to cross country, soccer, and so much more. Don't forget to visit www.kevinhoranrankings.com and sign up for his newsletter buzzing across the country. So if you want the best college news and rankings and see how the pros are outsmarted, tune in to Swamp's Collegiate Sports Show. The Swamp Rat ranks them right every Wednesday night at 8 on the Arena Sports Network.
I don't know where the hell I found this one. But that intro is sick, and I love it. Snowman in the Morning, back in your ears on this Thursday, 42 beyond the first hour. And we thank y'all for joining us. Snowman in the Morning, presented in part by Fusion Ions Bands. Fusion Ions, remember to live your best. And this portion is presented in part by TCF Bank, the official bank of the Arena Sports Network. Visit tcfbank.com for more information. Let me thank Josh Lopez for riding shotgun with me through the first segment. We came on a little late. We apologize for that. And they're still arguing about the Patriots. Josh, we just talked about it. Nobody likes the Patriots, but the point is they're that good. And then Ron had a great thought. He said bring back Bob Avellini to back up Jay Cutler. I don't think Bob Avellini will help. I really don't think it will help. Waiting for Jeff Escow to join me here in a couple moments to talk more free agency and also some college hoops. Haven't had him on in a while. But here's a move that really surprised me. And I talked about this in a good conversation with a few friends of mine on Facebook last night. Steve Smith, the longtime receiver of the Carolina Panthers, and in many ways the face of the franchise for years, has officially been released by Carolina. What do you all think of that? Give me your thoughts. At Snow Morning Show, you can tweet us there, or you can find our Facebook page at facebook.com/snowmaninthemorning. And I keep forgetting to do that each morning. I'm looking at the list, and I didn't do it. We came on sort of on horseback this morning. But he does like them. Uh-oh. Ron and Merch and Josh are going to be fighting in a few minutes, folks. They're going to be fighting because Josh Lopez does not like the Patriots, period. And we just found out that Murchison, in a couple of ways, does. This is frightening. But back to Steve Smith. Why did Carolina do such a thing? I mean, you're taking Cam Newton's primary weapon away. Who are you going to replace him with? They hosted a division playoff game last year, and now you have to wonder how far they will go without their franchise being there. And what will come of this for Steve Smith? I mean, Carolina has been his home for 11 years. I hate to see him go. You know, there were a few incidents that kind of made him look like a bad guy, but he's not a bad guy. He's a hell of a receiver. He is a hell of a receiver. And now I got Jeff Escow from Sports World Radio riding shotgun with me. Good morning.
Morning, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing great, partner. How about you?
I'm doing okay. It's a little early here, but I'm here, brother.
And now I get to throw this at you jokingly. That's what you get for living where you live.
There you go. You got me on that one, I guess, man. Quarter to 6 in the morning. It's early.
6 in the morning is early no matter what time zone you're in, period.
Yeah. Tell me about it. Since you didn't go to bed till like 12 o'clock last night. Yeah, it's kind of early.
And it comes at you fast, doesn't it?
Yeah, my alarm clock went off, and I was like, you got to be kidding me.
Jeff Escow, Sports World Radio, now the fastest 2 hours in sports radio. And I listened to the first edition where he went 2 hours. I'm telling y'all, this is a great show to listen to Monday through Friday. You do a great job, my friend. It's fun to listen to. It's
very much
fun to listen to. Okay, let me get your thoughts on this. Josh and I talked to NFL free agency. We're going to continue that discussion. Then we'll get us into some college basketball. Steve Smith being released by the Carolina Panthers. Are you surprised, and is this a good move?
I'm not surprised. I like the move, and I want to see the Giants get him. Is that a good enough answer for you?
Are you being biased?
You want to know something? It's kind of funny because Sean and I, in the last couple of days, have been talking NFL free agency.
Right.
And every person he brought out, I'm like, yeah, I kind of like to see the Giants get him.
You're like Josh is with the Bears, okay?
Kind of crazy.
No, but is it more of a cost-cutting move for Carolina, them releasing Steve Smith?
I think so. And really quick, to be really funny, didn't the Giants have a Steve Smith once before?
They did.
They did. What's the difference?
This Steve Smith was actually good.
I know, so let's bring back a good Steve Smith this time.
The one that has playoff experience.
Exactly. I think they definitely did it because of cost cutting. I don't know why. He's probably one of their best offensive players they have on the team.
Yeah.
If it's a money thing, I get it. If it's not a money thing, I don't get it.
I think it's more of a money issue, but I know as much as you'd like to see him with the Giants, is there any kind of way they can finagle around and bring him back, or is this move going to be permanent?
Okay, let me put it to you. Let me put it to you this way: look at it from his standpoint. Would you want to go back?
True point. Very true point.
I wouldn't.
And they're going to be rebuilding for a while. Last year I believe they really overachieved. They got to the playoffs. They won the South. But I don't know if they're going to be that good this year. We'll have to see how that plays out. We talked about DeMarcus Ware, and what was one of the teams that we brought up with a good defense that he would make better? And that's who he signed with, the Denver Broncos. Gave them some help.
I'm on a twofold here. I'm in two different camps here, and I don't know why. On the other, okay, here we go again. He left the Dallas Cowboys, correct?
Yes.
How much revenge do you want to get on Jerry Jones? Well, I'll go to an NFC East team, and I get to play him twice, and I'll beat the crap out of freaking Tony Romo.
True.
But no, he went to the AFC West, which is okay because he's out of the NFC East. But now he's got it. Now I got to deal with him as a San Diego Charger fan.
But here's the point: he gets to beat the hell out of Tom Brady if he sees him.
If he sees him,
how about that? But still, he gets a chance to beat the hell out of Tom Brady. And speaking of Denver, Eric Decker to the Jets. Your thoughts?
Jets need some wide receiver help really bad. A good move. He's a good wide receiver
and durable.
But the only problem is now he's not catching a ball from Peyton Manning, so it's going to be way different.
But he's young enough to be catching passes from someone who I think is going to develop to be a good quarterback in Geno Smith. And remember, he started finding out, how to play professional football and how to play the position as the season went on. Now he's got an additional weapon to go along with him. Who are a couple of the franchises in the midst of all this free agency that need some serious help but haven't made any moves yet?
Giants.
Yeah. Giants would be
Jets.
one. Jaguars.
The
Jaguars, I think the Jaguars are in need of permanent help.
Giants have done a lot. It's kind of ironic because I was talking to myself last night like I like to do, and I said, self? How come I haven't heard anything about the Giants? So I went and I looked, and they actually picked up 2 offensive linemen, which is what they needed really bad.
Because I think David Deal retired.
Mm-hmm. David Deal retired. They lost their center, Snead. He's done.
Mm-hmm.
So they needed 2 offensive linemen. They got a gentleman from Kansas City.
Yeah.
They got another gentleman, and if I remember correctly, they also got a wide receiver.
They did.
So they're making some moves, and they're doing it quietly, and I'm okay with that too.
And in many situations, teams in free agency would love to fly under the radar in terms of making moves. The Giants being one of them. Who do you think is going to, in the midst of this, is still waiting to make a big splash?
Dallas Cowboys.
Of course.
And you know how much I hate that team.
Aside of the Cowboys. aside of the Cowboys. Because it's the Cowboys. Okay? Jacksonville.
Yeah, I think they're waiting to make a splash. Of why, I don't know, but,
But who would want to go to – thank you, it's Jacksonville. Who the hell wants...
They blew their chance. Sean asked me yesterday on the show, they blew the chance. Why didn't they get Tim Tebow when they had the chance?
Because they're stupid. And they didn't get him.
And you want to know my real answer?
Okay.
Because he's not an NFL quarterback.
He's not. He's not.
I had an argument with Frank Sprankle on my radio show. He was telling me that Tim Tebow can beat Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, and any other quarterback in a physical competition. I turned around to him and said, what the heck does a physical competition have to do with playing quarterback in the NFL?
Whoa. He can beat who and what? I think I just heard a blasphemous statement on Snowman in the Morning. You want to repeat that again, please?
Yeah, he said that Tim Tebow can beat Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, and some other quarterback that I can't remember in a physical competition. Meaning, remember that TV show like The Superstars?
Yes.
Where they did all those physical competitions?
Yes.
He's meaning in a physical competition like that, he would beat the heck out of those guys really easy.
What in the blue hell does that have to do with playing quarterback and basically with Tim Tebow, in Tim Tebow's case, running around to save your life every Sunday?
Exactly. That's what I said.
What the hell does that have to do with playing quarterback?
Exactly.
A physical competition? Are you kidding me? Most of these quarterbacks that are in the NFL right now are so damn physical that they would run you over before a running back will run you over. Are you kidding me?
I know. It was pretty funny. I went off. It was great. It was great radio.
I know you had fun. I know you had fun with it, man.
Oh, it was great. A physical. What the heck does a physical competition have to do with playing quarterback in the NFL?
Absolutely, not a doggone thing. Not a doggone thing.
No, it was great. It was great radio. If you missed the show, check it out on Tuesday. It was great radio.
I wish I would have heard that, but I was prepping for a game of my own. Jeff Escal, Sports World Radio, riding shotgun with me, taking us through the final part of the first hour. And now it's time for our Gigahertz question of the day, presented by Gigahertz, the official computer solutions company of the Arena Sports Network. Gigahertz, and that's where we come in. Let's stay on the subject with the question of the day. Which move in free agency surprised you the most? Tweet us at Snow Morning Show, or you can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/snowmaninthemorning. Talking NFL free agency with Jeff Escal. We just had our question of the day, and Jeff Escal just released a very blasphemous statement about Tim Tebow and somebody making an argument for him to be an NFL quarterback. I'm sorry, the kid cannot throw the football.
No, not that he can throw the football. He can't read defenses. So how can you be a quarterback in the NFL if you can't read defense?
He can't read offenses either. Okay, then explain, not to play devil's advocate, but explain that 1 year where he just got absolutely hot the second half of the season with Denver.
Okay, you said it right there. The second half of the season.
There you go. Okay, thank you.
It's not a full year. It's the second half. What was it, 7 weeks?
Yeah.
Okay, you want to know something, Brian?
Yeah.
Second year in an NFL football, playing 6 weeks in the NFL does not make a career.
This is true.
Okay, he played 6 weeks in the NFL, boys and girls. It doesn't make an NFL career.
A lot of people wanted it to.
Unbelievable.
They were using that, and they still use it to this day.
And Skip Bayless, you're wrong. Can't stand that guy.
Who can?
Unbelievable. Telling me that Tim Tebow is a great quarterback. He should be in the NFL. What the heck are you smoking?
He said that Tim Tebow is a great quarterback.
And deserves to be in the NFL playing at quarterback. What are
playing
you, crazy?
At quarterback. Okay. If he couldn't cut it with the Patriots, who was his last hope for even a backup position, because we know Tom Brady's not going anywhere unless someone absolutely knocks the tar out of him. And he didn't cut that. He didn't cut that.
Brian, he couldn't even cut it in the freaking Russian football league. Come on.
He certainly couldn't. Oh, my gosh.
If he can't cut it in there, you can't cut it anywhere, my friend.
See, here's the point. A quarter of the teams in the league absolutely need a quarterback, but I'm sorry, he ain't one of them.
Nope.
He never will be. He's not even – and I know I'm going to incite a riot. I know I'm going to incite a riot, and I'm just going to step back from the microphone when I make this statement.
Do it.
He's not even on the level of Tony Romo.
Thank you very much. I said that Tuesday. I said I can't believe I'm going to say this, but Tony Romo is a better quarterback than Tim Tebow. And you know how much I don't like Tony Romo.
Yes.
Okay. I'm just saying. Boy, you got me woken up really good this morning, my friend.
See, that's why I wanted to bring this up. And I know after the break we're going to do some college basketball. And I know you're fired up about that. It's championship week, Mountain West tournament going on. Oh, boy.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. We'll talk about that after the break because there's so much to get to. It's freaking ridiculous.
And this is why I wanted to bring you in and help out with this. Let me pause for a break. When we come back, Jeff Escow continues to ride shotgun with me with college basketball, and Jeff Escow is mad. Period. How mad? Yes, you'll find out in a deuce.
Anne Marie specializes in premier 5-star vendor and craft shows. She also offers event planning for special events of any kind. Anne Marie's goal is to provide both her vendors and shoppers with an exceptional experience, believing that promotion is the key to any successful event. Anne Marie has developed personal relationships with her vendors and is constantly being sought by vendors who would like to participate in her popular events, often with wait lists for vendors. Working with Anne Marie is an enjoyable, stress-free experience. Anne Marie is a perfectionist and very creative. She is 100% committed to each event from beginning to end and believes that promotion is the key to any successful event. No stone will go unturned as it relates to promotion. For the ultimate in event planning, contact Anne Marie today at 219-741-0435 or visit anne-marieprince.com. Premier events in Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana are brought to you by Anne Marie.
Want to get your rankings in the truest form? Want to get the best college news without all the fluff? Then tune in to Swamp's Collegiate Sports Show. Join Kevin the Swamp Rat Horan as he ranks all the collegiate sports, from football to basketball and baseball to cross country, soccer, and so much more. Don't forget to visit www.kevinhoranrankings.com and sign up for his newsletter buzzing across the country. So if you want the best college news and rankings and see how the pros are outsmarted, tune in to Swamp's Collegiate Sports Show. The Swamp Rat ranks them right every Wednesday night at 8 on the Arena Sports Network.
I wasn't going to play this song again, but I thought, what the hell. I just love this song. Second hour, Snowman in the Morning. And we're back at you on this Thursday. This portion presented by Fusion Ions Bands. Fusion Ions, we remind you to live your best. All right. With all that being said and done, I got Jeff Escow of Sports World Radio riding shotgun with me. Time to talk a little college basketball. And before I went to a break, Jeff Escow had this statement.
And I'm not going to take this anymore.
When it comes to college basketball, especially his beloved Aztecs of San Diego State, who for some reason the pollsters were waiting to fall, and they did to New Mexico, I want to say 2 weeks ago when they took a tumble in the rankings. Now, I'm going to step back, I'm going to cover my ears, and I'm going to let Jeff have the microphone for a couple of minutes because y'all just need, again, I lead with this. As far as the rankings go, and I know a lot of people feel this way, Jeff had this after San Diego took a tumble in the rankings.
I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
Why are you so mad, Jeff?
I can't stand this crap, man. It just pisses me off to no end.
Okay.
You got a team, Wichita State.
Yeah.
Okay? Went undefeated in the regular season. I'm not talking about what they've done so far. They're 34 and whatever they've done in their tournament play. Just the regular season.
Right.
Okay? I've said this before here. You take that schedule, you give it to San Diego State, and San Diego State goes undefeated too.
True.
You take San Diego State's schedule
and give it to Wichita State, and they don't walk through undefeated. I'll give you that.
I don't think so.
I'll give you that.
And the strength of schedule, you're telling me that Wichita State's strength of schedule is better than San Diego State's? Get the hell out of here.
And they're the number 2 rated team, meaning Wichita State in the country. You had to figure, and I know a lot of people think this way, you had to figure they'd walk through the Missouri Valley Conference. I mean, there was no competition in Missouri Valley, especially after Creighton left for the Big East.
Brian, you can walk through the Mountain Valley Conference. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, any team can walk through that conference except for the teams that are in it, except for Wichita State.
Exactly. Except for the teams that are in it. It's true. But I still don't get why San Diego State fell as far as they did after losing to, I believe, New Mexico.
Yeah, they went from
5 to 13.
How the heck does that happen? When Kansas loses and moves down 3 spots.
Mm-hmm.
And they beat Kansas in Kansas.
In Lawrence, Kansas.
I don't get it.
I still don't understand why that doesn't carry any weight.
How does Kansas deserve a number 2 seed in the tournament with a record like that, knowing that they lost to San Diego State and they don't have their big man anymore?
And here's what's really getting on my nerves about this. They look at Kansas as one of their favorites. The pollsters do. They always look at teams like Kansas and Duke as one of their favorites. Now, if you took the schedule that San Diego State had and I'll say you put it in Duke's hands and Duke's lost to Arizona, okay? The record will not be the same, period. Okay? I want to know why it is when teams like Duke and Kansas fall, they don't take a tumble out of the rankings. And yet, a young team like San Diego State, when they fall, the polls are saying, the heck with you. We don't need you anymore. And they throw them down in the trash.
Because you said it right there in your question, because the young San Diego State team, because their basketball program is old, yes, but it's not as old and historic as Kansas and North Carolina and Duke and Georgetown and Villanova and North Carolina, and all those programs. That's why they get no love. They don't play if I'm correct, Kansas got the 3rd tough schedule in college football, college basketball.
Yeah.
They don't play a schedule like that. But granted, Steve Fisher is playing teams that San Diego State would never, ever think that they'd be playing.
No.
So you got to give them props there. They're just whenever you hear about San Diego State on ESPN, it's very rarely about a win.
Yeah, it's more about a loss than a win. They're waiting for them to tumble.
Correct. So in that respect, that's what really angers me the most.
Yeah, they're waiting for them to tumble. That's the problem.
They show love to Steve Fisher out here on national TV every once in a while, not as much as I like. But they show San Diego State more when they lose than when they win, and I don't think that's right at all.
It isn't. It really isn't. Okay, you got a team that beat Kansas at Kansas. Why don't they get as much love as everybody else? You just went to one of the more venerable arenas in the country in Fog Allen Fieldhouse, an arena where a lot of people say 90% of the time a visiting team in the early part of the season does not win, and yet San Diego State picked up a non-conference win in Kansas, and yet it takes a conference loss for them to tumble the way that they did.
And not only that tumble loss to New Mexico State put New Mexico State in the top 25.
Wow.
That win that New Mexico State had against San Diego State in New Mexico almost 3 weeks now, a little over 3 weeks now.
Yeah.
Put New Mexico State in the top 25. And put Aztecs from 8 to 13. How about that? When New Mexico State came here last Saturday.
Yeah.
San Diego State was down 16 points in the second half and came back and won that game.
Good.
To win the Mountain West? Come on. What does that say?
It says a lot. It says San Diego State's ready to compete. Well, they've been ready to compete.
San Diego State doesn't get a second seed in the NCAA tournament, that's disgusting. Because as far as I'm concerned, you take the first 8 teams and you make them the 1 and 2 seeds, and that's that. And then you roll. And that's the way it should be. That means Kansas doesn't get a 2 seed, boys and girls.
And I also say, cut the team. I know they wanted to allow more teams to participate in the tournament. Don't get me wrong, but go back to 64 teams, please. This first 4 is. I've hated the first 4 setup when they introduced it. I mean, I know even when they expanded it to 65 teams and then later 68, which is the current format now.
Playing games.
Playing games don't mean a cotton picking thing. It just means you get thrown to the sacrificial lambs, whomever they determine to be the number 1 seeds.
Playing games bring in money for college basketball. That's why they're doing it.
Well, they need to cut them.
That's why they're doing it.
They need to cut them. I really believe they need to cut these play-in games and just make it the 64 best teams in the country get in the tournament, period.
The only time I don't want them to cut the play-in game when it's Wichita State playing for the play-in game. It's the only time I don't want them to cut it. Now, if Wichita State gets the number 1 seed, which you know they're going to, which I don't think is right, but that's just my opinion.
They're going to get a come on, they're going to get a number 1 seed. They walked through the Missouri Valley Conference tournament. They literally walked through the tournament. I mean, I don't think they were even challenged.
No. How do you get challenged by Indiana State?
Okay,
playing teams like that. Come on, Missouri State. I mean,
you don't have
Indiana
Larry Bird.
State.
You don't have Larry Bird at Indiana State.
No, but I mean, San Diego State would whip those teams, and Wichita State
easy
barely beat them. Come on.
If Wichita State, and I'm going to go ahead and say this statement. Oh, my buddy Fitz is in the chat room this morning. Good morning, Fitz. I'm going to go ahead and say this, and I will back up your argument about San Diego State and their strength of schedule. Arizona State would have blasted Wichita State. Arizona would have blasted
Kansas would have whooped them.
Wichita State.
Kansas would have whooped them.
I mean, Kansas would have been so mad that they came on the same floor with them. They wouldn't even make it a contest. Now, there will be some people that will argue Wichita State deserves the number 2 ranking, and let's look at pure record alone. Let's take strength of schedule out of the equation. Let's take other factors out of the equation. Pure record alone, yes, Wichita State deserves the number 2 ranking, and they are probably going to wind up with the number 1 seed, being the Missouri Valley champions, regular season and postseason. But
how funny would it be, Brian? How funny would it be, Brian, if they lost to the 16th seed?
I'd be laughing like crazy.
It'd prove my point, wouldn't it?
It would prove a lot. It would prove a lot of people's points. It would prove every underdog's point.
It's ridiculous.
It would
and it's never happened before in the NCAA tournament. I think it's about time.
In the men's tournament, no. In the women's tournament, yes. It has happened.
It's about time. Hey, you know something, Fitz? I think San Diego State could stay with North Carolina and Duke. San Diego State has big players. They have a big team. They have a very big front line.
Is San Diego State favored to win the Mountain West?
Oh yeah. The Mountain West. Mountain West started last night. They weren't even in Vegas yet. They get a bye, so they weren't even in Vegas yet.
Oh, so they get an extra day to rest.
Yeah. The tournament started yesterday. They were flying over to Vegas while the tournament was going on. It's only a 45-minute flight from San Diego to Vegas.
Right.
So it's no big deal. They weren't even there yet.
Are they still playing at Thomas and Mack for the Mountain West tournament? Okay.
Yes, because they just finished the tournament in New Orleans, the other tournament.
Yeah.
In New Orleans, in Vegas. Now they got Vegas has Arena, 2 college tournaments every year.
Yeah, Orleans Arena has the WAC tournament, Western Athletic Conference tournament.
Correct.
Wichita State will probably
that ends Wednesday
or
Thursday, and then the Mountain West starts the next day. It goes to the weekend.
If you're a tourist and you're in Vegas and you love college basketball, there's going to be a lot of it for you to choose from.
This is the week to be in Vegas for college basketball.
This would be the perfect week to be. You know what would be great?
Monday through Saturday?
They should build a special stadium in Vegas that holds at least 70,000 people, because that's the standard now for the Final Four, and they need to host the Final Four in Vegas.
Well, how many does the New Orleans hold? It holds a lot.
Orleans Arena?
Yeah. 18, 19,000?
About
20,000?
19. But the standard now is 70.
Okay, let me really quick about that.
Okay.
70,000 people. You're sitting all the way in the last row in the stadium.
Well, just a moment.
Can you really see what's going on the court?
Well, let me make this argument, though. The reason that 70,000 is now the standard is because of the success that they've had, first of all, at Ford Field in 2009, and then a year later at Lucas Oil Stadium. Mm-hmm. And I had a chance to see the construction of Lucas Oil Stadium and read about it. They designed Lucas Oil with basketball in mind. And now they have it set up with all these big stadiums where they would bring in like special monitors where everybody can see it, not just on the main monitors in the stadium. So in a way, depending on the stadium, I can see some cretins, and plus it brings in an ass load of money. So
okay,
what I'm thinking, if you want to really do it right, build a stadium in Vegas and have it in Vegas.
Okay,
Give
don't
Vegas
put nobody behind any polls, though.
No. Hey, look, anybody that sat behind a pole at Super Bowl 45 deserves to get a refund, okay? And I'll leave it there. Jeff Escow riding the shotgun with me here in the second half of Snowman in the Morning. We're presented by TCF Bank, the official bank of the Arena Sports Network. TCF Bank, surprisingly, TCF. And to answer your question about Orleans Arena, it holds 20 for basketball.
20,000. Okay, so that's not bad for basketball.
No, it's not. Not for basketball.
That's
and it's
a big
beautiful
crowd.
And it's a beautiful arena.
Yeah, I believe, if I'm correct, Viejas Stadium, where the Aztecs play, hold 18,000.
Yeah, just about 18.
That's not bad for a college.
No, it's
arena.
not.
18,000. That's not, and that place gets rocking. And every game this year was sold out.
Fitz made a great point. Fitz just made a great point in the chat room. Jerry World does not deserve the Final Four. And you know what? He's right. How the hell they landed that? Well, it's Jerry World, okay?
Well, and you know why they had to put that big screen above the field, right?
Mm-hmm. So people can see what the hell's going on.
Well, if you're sitting in the last row of that stadium, you ain't seeing nothing.
You're
unless
not seeing
looking
a
at the
doggone
screen.
thing. You're not seeing a doggone thing.
Brian, if I'm sitting in the last row of that stadium and I got to look at a screen to watch a game, I would rather be at home.
Yeah. In front of a screen that I can actually see and scooch close to just in case I miss a play.
And not only that, control.
Yes.
So
Especially
if you're playing bad, I can get rid of you.
Or you're watching a team you don't want to watch.
Exactly. I mean, come on. Really, Jerry? Come on.
Okay, Josh just threw a name of an arena, and I think this is in New Orleans. They renamed New Orleans Arena, God help me, the Smoothie King Center.
I thought you were going to say something else. Thank God. You
Shut up.
No, I thought you were going to say
no,
something about the Pelicans. Come on.
I still want to know how the play-by-play announcer for the Pelicans calls a victory. What?
I want to know how he calls a game, period, when he's got to say the Pelicans. Come on. I understand it's the state bird, but it's not scary for Jiminy Cricket's sake.
It's not. It's not.
Come on. Pelican. And then you had to change the mascot because the original mascot's beak was scaring people? Come on.
I thought you were supposed to have a mascot that would frighten the daylights out of folks.
Okay, Chicago Cub Bear mascot boy over there. The heck is that all about if we're talking mascots now?
Okay, somebody was sleeping when they came up with Clark the Bear, okay?
Clark.
Hey, well, it was named from what I'm gathering,
Brian,
it was named after Clark Street here in Chicago.
Brian, did you see the bear that jumped on the Dodgers dugout?
No.
Yeah.
A bear jumped on the Dodgers dugout?
Yeah, there was this guy who owns a furniture store.
Oh, no. See, that starts it right there.
Who says it's about time that the Dodgers had a mascot. So he took it upon himself. He bought a field-level seat right above the opponent's dugout. And during a pitching change, excuse me, I guess it was the 7th inning or 6th inning, or during a pitching change, he said, okay, it's my moment. He strapped on his head, ran out of his seat, and he jumped on top of the dugout and started dancing and waving a towel, and the fans went nuts.
I will never.
Fans went, and I'll tell you something, Brian. This bear costume, or this bear mascot, or this bear suit that this guy was funny. This guy owns a
furniture store,
an office furniture store in California, close to where the Dodgers are. And he says it's about time that the Dodgers get a mascot. So he took it upon himself, wore his bear uniform or costume or whatever you want to call it, to the game. Nobody said nothing to him. He's in a bear costume.
He's in a bear
costume. Sitting there waiting for his opportunity. He found it. He's jumping all around. The fans are going crazy, and security went and grabbed him off the dugout. How about that?
I will never be able to look at Dodger Stadium the same ever again. You can no longer after that incident. You can no longer call it Chavez Ravine. You can call it the bear.
Nuts.
You can call it the Bear Ravine.
You got to go and Google that. See that? That's just.
I've
funny.
got to see that.
That's just funny.
In a bear
a bear suit. Yeah, sir.
If the cops. Okay, so what? It almost makes me afraid. No, it's going to make me laugh my ass off to see how they react at Wrigley Field when Clark the Bear shows up.
Oh, that's going to be funny.
I can't wait to see that. Jeff Escott riding shotgun with me. I thank you for doing so. We got some trivia when we come back. And Jeff is now on for 2 hours with Sports World Radio. And I want to say 6 to 8.
Yes, on the East Coast,
Eastern
6 to
time,
8 p.m.
6 to 8 Eastern time. SportsWorldRadio.com is where you can find him. Jeff, a pleasure, my friend. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, my friend. You guys have a great rest of your show. I will be listening, and I love coming on here, even though it's early in the morning for me.
Thanks a lot, Jeff. I appreciate it.
You got it, buddy. Take care, everybody.
Let me pause for 60. Trivia on the opposite side when we come back.
What is the Times Media Company? The Times Media Company is a vital and integral part of the Northwest Indiana region. We are the #1 source of news and information and pledge to not only be the first to bring you news through our online platforms, but also be the best at taking you deeper into the stories that matter in your lives through all our products. From our daily print newspaper to specialty publications to online and mobile sites, we connect people with content that informs, entertains, and engages. More than just local content, but content that is important to local people. For more information, log into nwi.com or call 219-933-3200. The Times Media Company. We are where you need us to be.
Hey, y'all, we're back. All right. When you hear this, you know what time it is. It's time for some trivia. There we go. Had to find that. Y'all had to, you know what? And Fitz says something that just made Jeff even angrier. Fitz said in the chat room that the Boston Red Sox will win another world championship before San Diego State wins a basketball championship. Ouch. Then they better win it this year. I was right there when you left. Oh, gracious. Y'all are crazy. I love it. I absolutely love it. All right, time for some trivia. And the subject this morning, we're going to talk a little baseball because Fitz has been texting me baseball pictures for a while. And we're going to talk 20-game winners. 20-game winners. And, of course, you know the rule. The first four questions are worth 5 points apiece, which means I better get my pad and pen, which I do. First four questions are worth 5 points apiece. And the last one is a triple play. It is worth 15. And that could decide the game. Brian Payon won yesterday, unable to join us this morning, so we're going to do some trivia right now. It goes a little something like this. Question 1 goes this way. In 1997, there was one 20-game winner. One 20-game winner, 1997. Who was he? I should go back to bed. All right. 1997, there was one 20-game winner. Who was that masked man? Trivia time this morning presented by Gigahertz, the official computer solutions company of the Arena Sports Network. No, we didn't get... Jeff, we'll save that one. I'll probably get to that tomorrow, because I still don't believe it happened. Well, Josh just got on the board early. One 20-game winner in 1997, and he gave me the correct answer. It was Denny Nagel of the Atlanta Braves. So that's one for Josh. He has the first 5 points of the game. Second question goes this way. Aha! Okay, I needed to find something, and I think I have. There was only one 20-game winner in 2004. Who is this masked man? One 20-game winner in 2004. Jamie Moyer? No. What do you mean no fair, Fitz? What's not fair? I want to know what's not fair. 2004, there was only one 20-game winner. Who was this masked man? And Josh just scored again. Roy Oswald. And Josh has gotten the first two. So he gets a coin for that. He's got the first two and 10 points and out into the lead. Now try this one. And I found it. No, I didn't. I thought I found it. Okay. You know what? I'm going to make this a double play. The year is 2005. And no, actually, you know what? No. Let's keep it the same. Let's keep it the same format. 2010 is the year, and there were two 20-game winners in the National League. Name either one of them. "2010's the year. There were two 20-game winners in the National League. Name either one of them." Now, if Josh scores this, he's on his way to a clean sweep. So I'm hoping somebody else scores. Yep, he got him. Hell, he got them both. Roy Halladay and Adam Wainwright. So Josh is out to a big lead. So he got that one, and now it's time to move to the fourth question. I only asked for one, Josh. Okay. Let me see if someone can get this one. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Okay, never mind. Never mind. All right, got it. Year was 2012. There were two 20-game winners in the National League. Name either one of them. You're a little late, Fitz. Josh already got it with Roy Halladay. The other was Adam Wainwright. There were two 20-game winners in the National League in 2012. Name either one of them. And if Josh scores here, the game's over. Because the last one's only worth 15, and Joshua had. And the game's over. Doggone it. And Josh has effectively regained his title. He got them both, Gio Gonzalez and R.A. Dickey. Josh has scored. And there's no need for the triple play because Josh got the first four. No, not Clayton Kershaw, Fitz. Well, Josh has scored. He made it. He has a clean sweep. And he sweeps the trivia time this morning. Congratulations, Josh. Regains the title. Now let's close up shop here, and let's do it effectively. All this week, I have been talking about, we're inside the journey, and all this week, it's all about being positive. Well, it's always about being positive. One day this week, I asked you, the fans, to make someone smile, lift up their spirits. I want you to do all of that, but I want you to add this to it. Not only does a smile help, not only do kind words help, but just be around, exude. That's the word I wanted to use. Exude some positive energy for somebody. You never know who's going to pick it up. You never know who's going to need it. Exude some positive energy to someone when they're feeling down. Exude some positive energy to someone when they're not feeling great. Be around someone that needs a boost. You never know who that person is going to be. When they see you smile, when they see you laugh, they'll be drawn to you. And it will make their day better, and it will lift up their spirits. It will give them the positive energy to keep moving. So that's what I want y'all to do. Exude some positive energy. There's enough negativity in this world to go around, and we are sick and tired of that. Had enough of that. Had more than enough of that. Need some uplifting things to go on here. When you exude some positive energy around somebody, it gives them the strength to keep going. It's happened and it's helped me. And I hope I do the same for you guys. So that's my message this morning. Be positive around people and watch it get returned. Thanks for listening, everybody.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.
Oh, man. Wasn't that great, kid?
Thanks for listening, folks. We'll be back tomorrow. Of course, tomorrow is Potluck Friday. You never know what's going to go on Potluck Friday, or who's going to come on, or what's going to be discussed. No script, no problem. Potluck Friday is tomorrow. Thanks to everybody for listening. Don't forget, Saturday, Marquette Catholic basketball as they take on Fort Wayne Blackhawk Christian at 12:30 up at noon with our pregame show. The digest will come your way at 1 p.m. this afternoon. Thanks for listening. I appreciate it. God bless. And remember to make your next move your best move. So long, everybody. Talk to you tomorrow.